Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my top 10 moments from film in 2018. This is another top 10 list that I really enjoy doing come the end of the year, where we discuss my 10 personal favorite scenes or sequences or just moments in film for the year. We just need to get this out of the way. Spoiler alert, since I'll be discussing particular scenes or particular moments within film, these happen all throughout. They could be the very beginning of the movie, the very ending, or anywhere in between. So this ranking will be chock full of spoilers. Also, this is just my list. These represent the top 10 scenes in film that impacted me the most, that really stuck with me throughout the year. This is not a reflection on the top 10 films I enjoyed the most or how I would rate the films. It's literally just these scenes isolated that made an impact on me. Also, I've limited the list to only one moment or scene from any given film. Thus, no film will dominate the list with scene after scene after scene. With all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and kick things off with number 10, the casino fight from Black Panther. I absolutely loved the fight upon first watch, and then watching Black Panther several more times throughout the year, I learned to absolutely love this sequence. T'Challa is after Claw. He is just representing himself as T'Challa. But of course, Nikita and Okoye are with him. Once they get into this casino, just craziness ensues, and it is absolutely wonderful. First of all, Ryan Coogler showed his skill with the one take. As we pan up, get Okoye fighting, like jumping downward, the movement out of the casino, the entire actual fight is just this one gorgeous long take that is mesmerizing. Plus Okoye's long red dress that she's wearing makes for this beautiful movement in the scene. Of course, her iconic throwing of that wig is amazing. Nikita really gets her chance to shine as a fighter in this scene. T'Challa's great. The music that accompanies it is some of my favorite music on the soundtrack from Kendrick Lamar's Black Panther album. It's undeniably the best action scene, including the big final action moment that we get. And I think it just works perfectly well. It had to make this list, so number 10 it is. At number 9, I'm dubbing this Disney Princesses from Ralph Breaks the Internet. I'm just including all of the Disney princesses in this spot because honestly, it's their first appearance, and then when they come back and save the big strong man at the end, it all just works together perfectly. I love that we get that callback at the end, but that callback doesn't work as well as it does if we don't have the scene where Vanellope sits down and gets to know them. This is Disney being meta at its finest. We have the princesses poking fun at themselves, poking fun at tropes in the older Disney princess films, but in a fun, lighthearted, very self-referential way. We get wonderful moments like the pajamas, we get wonderful moments like the songs and the beam while they sing and talking about looking into water. Oh, it's beautiful. And then when they come back and reprise their roles at the end of the film as Ralph is plummeting down, and we get Pocahontas using her colors of the wind, we get Snow White in her costume, kind of kissing him awake as he lays in the bed. Everything is it's so good. They were definitely the standout when we first saw those still images from Wreck-It Ralph 2. And in the film, they were kind of the standout as well. It made me really want to see more of modern day Disney princesses. At number 8, I have the home invasion in Assassination Nation. This was a film I just recently caught up with on home video, and I was completely taken aback. I really had wanted to see it, but I wasn't quite anticipating what a feminist badass movie this would ultimately become. But by far, the standout in this action-packed, gory film is this home invasion sequence. So it gets leaked that our main character is the one who has caused all of this chaos. She's the reason this has happened. She's been lied on while she's at one of her friends' houses, and she's kind of staked out there because she's been kicked out of her house. Naturally, everybody wants to kill her. Their lives have been ruined, so they all just want to like go get her, kill her. And from there, we get this highly inventive, great action horror set piece. You're like on pins and needles the entire time as each girl comes down the stairs to like set the alarm or find their friends. Then we get the mom coming out being a complete badass in like this tiny but super memorable role. Plus, it's really the culmination of what we've gotten from the movie to that point. It hits that apex right there and kind of spirals us into the next portion of the film. But I thought it was really fantastic, really gripping, exciting, and the highlight of a really strong film. At number 7, I have Jack Jack vs. Racoon from The Incredibles 2. So while the parents got most of the true character development, Jack Jack is the one who ultimately stole the show in this one single scene. Yes, we finally see the extent of Jack Jack's powers as he fights an unlikely foe in a naughty little raccoon in the backyard. And it is just the culmination of fun, funny, lighthearted action. And I absolutely loved it. The raccoon is such an expressive, wonderful little animal. I just love his determination, and Jack Jack just ups the ante, and we get to see him go through like phase after phase after phase. You love the reaction from the raccoon each and every time he's like hit with the new power. And then it all works out in the end because we don't have an animal die in a family film, thank goodness. And Jack Jack doesn't get hurt either, and it leads us to seeing Edna Mode. This was certainly the funnest action scene I saw all year, and I thought it was really the highlight of the whole film. In at number 6, I have The Death Bear from Annihilation. This beautiful, thought-provoking film could have served up several moments, actually, on this list. However, it was The Death Bear that stole the show for me personally. What a horrifying concept and design to this bear. The pure inventiveness of the bear itself honestly just propels it onto a list like this, period. It was like horrifying. It was crazy, it was insane, but it was so good. And the way it played out with like the trickery of hearing your friend's voice calling, screaming, begging for help. And it all starts off with our human character becoming like the big villain and like tying everyone up. So everyone's tied up. We have this bear coming in to hunt them down, and they all feel basically defenseless because they can't move. And it's just this really scary, chilling scene that has you on the edge of your seat. It is one of the most straightforward horror moments in the entire film, and it worked so well. At number 5, I have the dinner table scene from Hereditary. What a wonderful scene that really just encapsulated everything I love. Toni Collette just gets to unleash on this scene, and she acts her ass off here, as does Alex Wolff. Both of them get to really just let it out and give their performance to the fullest. But it really is so tense to begin because we've been building to this ever since the very start of the film. The tension between these two characters has been palpable, and it's been building, and it's been building, and it's been building, and finally we get to this insane moment at the dinner table that blows your mind. But it means so much to the story and the background to the story and moving forward with the story. While nothing particularly happens here, this could be argued as the apex of the film, a moment we've been building to, and then a moment that kind of shapes where we go for the rest of the movie. It had the drama, had funny laughs in it, had tension in it, and really was just one of the best written scenes of the year. At number 4, I have Miles Morales taking the leap of faith. This is the scene in which Miles Morales becomes Spider-Man. It could be referred to as like Miles Morales becoming Spider-Man, Morales finally swings, Miles Morales takes the leap of faith, but it's ultimately the scene where he jumps off the building and truly becomes Spider-Man. And this scene just works on every level. Miles Morales is the character that has failed and come up short pretty much every single time up until this point of the film. And then he gets this really nice speech from both Peter Parker, who tells him, you'll just have to take a leap of faith to become Spider-Man. And then this really heart-wrenching, beautiful speech from his father that ultimately kind of gives him that spark to get out there and take this leap. And having those emotional moments right beforehand, having all of that failure, really makes this a very impactful scene and such an important scene for the film in general. And then it's executed beautifully. First of all, the animation in this scene is stunning, as is most of the animation, but it's ethereal, it's beautiful. We invert the picture so we're looking at it from different angles as he falls just from this building. We see him don the suit. The music playing is like triumphant. He finally gets to swing, and it all, of course, leads up to him acting out as Spider-Man and getting to save the day. They lay out the groundwork, building up to this moment so beautifully well, and then deliver in an amazing sequence once we finally get there. At number 3, I have the rap scene from Blind Spotting. This is that final rap scene. There are several rapping moments throughout the film of Blind Spotting, but this is that scene when they arrive at that house. They're like cleaning out the junk, and our main character wanders into the like garage and sees the cop from earlier in the film. And what ensues is possibly the most tense moment I had in a movie theater this entire year. You are completely and totally on the edge of your seat because, like many of the scenes we've talked about, we've been building to this particular moment throughout the entire film. It's kind of been building up and building up and building up to this. And you would think someone just kind of like busting out a rap as dialogue in a film could come off cheesy, but instead it comes off incredibly tense and insurmountably powerful. When he picks up that gun, you are scared for our main character as a person because everything that he's done and everything that he's been accused of and everything that's really happened to him in this film has been more a reflection of circumstance than him as a person and who he represents. You're worried, you're scared that he's going to actually kill someone, that he's holding this gun up, angry, and this like amazing rap just intensifies and intensifies and intensifies. I was literally holding my breath watching this scene in the theater. I was so tense, on the edge of my seat. It was one of the most memorable moments I had in a theater for 2018. At number 2, I have the parent speeches from Love, Simon. So technically, these are 2 different moments, but I think both moments are just as important as each other. So this is actually not the moment we've really been building up to in the film. That comes when Simon is outed. He's outed by a third-party person, and his whole life kind of just like spirals down, out of control. But these are probably the most emotionally impactful moments of the film, and they deliver messages that are so important and need to be heard in a film like this. Of course, seeing his dad cry, seeing his dad understand in that moment how he has affected his son and the growth was absolutely palpable. It was beautiful to watch. Josh Duhamel's performance was really great. Seeing them have that connection outside was really a beautiful moment, actually. And then, of course, the mother-son talk was probably the highlight of the whole film for me. It delivers a message, and it delivers it amazingly well. When she tells Simon, like, listen, you said it to me, but I need you to listen and to actually hear, absorb, and live the words. You are still you. And really, her whole speech is just impeccable. I mean, it's an amazing speech. It is such an emotionally resonant and impactful moment in the film, and a beautiful moment for our first big LGBTQ mainstream film. And Jennifer Garner's speech in particular for me was probably the most emotional moment in cinema for 2018. So before I unveil my favorite movie moment of the year, let's go ahead and discuss some honorable mentions. Well, we'll kick this off with another moment that could have made the list from Love, Simon, and that's the kiss on the Ferris wheel. Really the whole Ferris wheel scene, but getting that kiss was monumental and so important. Again, this is the film aimed at all audiences, but that takes place at a high school, and is the first mainstream LGBTQ-centered film So having that gay kiss happen in the film in this beautiful, grand way as a cap to this wonderful love story was something special and something that needed to be seen. Trip a Little Light Fantastic from Mary Poppins Returns was my favorite scene, was my favorite sequence from the film. The choreography was absolutely fantastic. I thought the song was lovely and wonderful. It just is everything I want from a big, grand musical number in film. It felt like Broadway put to cinema. The cat death scene in Can You Ever Forgive Me was probably the second most emotional scene I've had in a theater this year. Melissa McCarthy absolutely kills it in this scene. The way she delivers this cat to the vet was completely heartbreaking, and seeing this character's whole world literally falling apart in that one moment was devastating, and you really felt for the character at that time. You really understood and empathized with her. It all works because of Richard E. Grant's performance, Melissa McCarthy's performance, and although it's not like a favorite because it was hard to watch, it was definitely one of the most impactful. The time traveling scene from Teen Titans Go to the Movies was amazing. This was meta humor delivered perfectly for me. Having them go through time to basically make sure the superheroes never become superheroes, so they fix all their problems, was a lot of fun to see in the first place. But then when they get back, see, we need them, and then they have to go back and undo all the good things that they just did, was really funny. I thought it was really smart, a really great twist on seeing those origin stories, and pretty daring for a children's film. I mean, they literally push the Waynes to their death. So, daring, funny, smart, it was great. And then finally, I have the bathroom fight sequence from Mission Impossible Fallout. This is definitely one of the best action set pieces in any film from the year, and honestly, we could insert just about any of the action set pieces from Mission Impossible into this honorary number 11 slot. But the bathroom fight sequence was beautifully choreographed. Of course, it had the wonderfully amazing hunky moment from Henry Cavill, like loading up his arms. It's brutal. We get Rebecca Ferguson coming in with her badassery. I mean, honestly, it was just a well choreographed, impeccably executed fight scene. So what scene managed to become my personal favorite for the year? Well, a spoiler's on my shirt. It's definitely Thor's arrival to Wakanda from Infinity War. There was no other scene that could be number one for me. I don't really get like so hyped. I like secretly fanboy out in my seat from time to time and like freak out. I like audibly yelled out in the theater the first time I watched Infinity War and Thor arrived in Wakanda. It was that amazing. So for a film to have me have this visceral reaction in the movie theater, there's no other choice but for that to be my favorite moment. And it worked so well for the same reason so many of these scenes work so well for me, because we have led up to this moment. Thor has had such development. We've seen him go through the hardships of having Loki killed, having his people decimated, having him be a complete and total failure against Thanos and almost die and lose his life, to him going through the realization of what's happened to him and growing as a person, as a hero, as a character, and then being willing to sacrifice his own life for the possibility of saving the galaxy. We finally get Groot doing something heroic to help him build his new weapon, and him using that weapon to open that rainbow gate and arrive down in Wakanda just in time, having his story come full circle in that moment. Absolutely amazing. Seeing all the other heroes' reaction to him coming in and taking names was wonderful as well, because they all thought he was dead. And then just seeing Thor realized to his full power potential at that moment was really something to behold. It's one of the best superhero moments in film for me ever. I loved it. It's cheerworthy. It's amazing. It's epic. That's why it comes in as my favorite moment in film for 2018. So those are my picks for the best moments in movies of the year. What did you think of these scenes, sequences that I chose as my favorites? And more importantly, what are your favorite moments in movies from the past year? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!